Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Gremlin and I wanted to do another quick start guide in Sons of the Forest. This with the beach crash site location. So if you missed the one I did last week, it was on the forest or in the middle of the woods crash site. So currently I think there's 3 crash sites, one in the mountain, one on the beach, and one out in the woods. And so I want to do a quick start guide with each location. And you'll have these containers that you could open up. You could either hit them with a stick or you can just hold E and open them up. First thing you want to do is let's get Kelvin back. Alright, welcome back, Kelvin. Now, as you can see, what's different about this location is there's no fish nearby in water, so Kelvin doesn't have the option to get fish. However, at the other location in the middle of the woods, you are near a location like the pond that has fish in it. So for now, I'm going to ask Kelvin to build a shelter, and they could also build a fire for us. You don't have to do this, but just to kind of get a feel for doing the commands with Kelvin. While they do that, I'm going to go ahead and loot these containers. And so if you hold G, it'll put an item away. So just tap G and it puts it back into your inventory. Alright, so let's just make sure we loot all of these containers. All this stuff will come into play later. So there's your stick. And I think there's one more container. Yeah, there's one more right here. Okay, perfect. Alright, Kelvin, next up, let's get you to build a fire. While Kelvin is doing that, you're gonna go run out this way. So down over here on the edge of the water, there's gonna be some extra supplies. So you're gonna want to pick up all of these items too. Alright, so you got some rope here. Rope is really helpful in crafting bone armor. It's also good for making certain traps. And then these things are good. They don't give you a ton of health, but you can eat them right here raw. And so you grab some oysters. You can also hold several of them in your inventory. Unfortunately, this water is not safe to drink, so you can't drink this for now. You're gonna have to get closer to like a stream. Alright, so what else do we have here? Oh, also, yeah, I forgot to mention can openers right here as well. So that will be an important tool right here. Well, actually, it's this right here, the can opener. So if you find like cat food, you'll be able to open that up now that you have the can opener. Alright, so let's open this up now that we're in this inventory. And while we're here, I do want to mention that items have hotkeys that you can add to them. So for example, if you want the tactical axe to be on your 1 key, for fast access. I like keeping my weapons on fast access with the hotkeys, and so you could do that now. Then you have your GPS tracker, your lighter, and your survival book. So while we're talking about inventory, if you hold I, it will also pull out your backpack. So previously, before they added the hotkeys, this was going to be your fast way of getting items. And so you can still use it though for things that you might not use or need as quickly. So like your pills, which we'll take right now because our health is kind of low. So let's take this pill. You only need to use one at a time, and it should maximize your health. The only thing that would happen that would stop it is if you get hit by an enemy, or say you eat like a plant that is negative, has negative effects with your health. That will stop the reheal. So just one pill will fully heal you. The bar next to the red bar that's going up right now is your armor. Okay, let's keep moving along. Oh, I forgot to open this up. So there we go. The next thing I want to do is, there's a cave over here. This particular cave, well, some of the cave entrances have gear in them. And so I can't remember 100% if this one does or not. So let's go check right here. And also we're going to grab this skull. You can use this skull to make like a club with the stick. And so let's see, let's do that. We're going to combine the stick. And where's your skull? It's up here. So next thing we'll need is the rope. So there you go. So your skull, your stick. Now we have a crafted club. Another weapon for you to use. You could put this on hotkey number 2. Also, while we're in here, let's use our 2 sticks and some duct tape and your knife. We're going to make a spear. Awesome. All right, so now we have a spear, we have a club, and we have our axe out. Let's enter this cave. Sometimes in the entrances, there's usually like some cloth and meat and stuff. I'm not recommending doing this cave right out the gate because there's pretty strong enemies and you should have a little bit more weapons, like some more ranged weapons and armor. If you hit L, it'll pull out your lighter, or if you find the flashlight later in the game, you could switch out the lighter for the flashlight. So here you go. We have some ammo in here, another skull, newspaper clipping, so you could check that out for yourself. I don't want to spoil it. There is an air tank, more bullets. I got some flares. Anything else? Oh, also, if you damage laptops or radios along the way, you'll get circuit boards. Circuit boards come in handy if you want to create like time bombs and things like that. Okay, that's about as far as I want to go, I think, into the entrance. So we got a decent amount of gear. Kelvin's sitting here waiting for us outside. Now let's get moving. I'm gonna grab this stick. And so the next thing I want to do is just follow the coast. If you want at this point, you could create a save. So you can go ahead and save right here and sleep. So E will create your save file, Z will sleep. Just keep in mind when you sleep in the game, your health and your thirst is going to be a little bit lower. So just make sure you have some stuff to drink and eat to get ready for the game, because your that little drop symbol is like your thirst. The little drumstick symbol is your hunger. The little moon sign symbol is like your vitality, and the blue bar that you see when I'm sprinting goes down. So if all of those stats are not high enough, the blue bar for your sprints and chopping trees and doing all other things like that becomes less and less, so you don't have as much energy to do things. Alright, so we're going to stop over here. We'll grab some cloth. This person has an energy bar, and we're going to keep moving down the coastline. You just keep an eye out for things like this turtle is going to be really helpful for crafting and collecting water, especially if you get a base away from the shore. They'll also have meat on them, so we're going to thank this turtle for their sacrifice. It is sad having to kill them, but their stuff in this most recent update, they added in a rain collector, so you could use their shell to collect rain, and then they also have 2 pieces of meat on them. So if you want to create a base like on the beach like this, for example, you don't have accessible water nearby, you could set up rain collectors with the turtle shells, and when it rains, you'll have a nice supply of water. So we're going to keep working our way down the coastline. Okay, you can see my energy just went down a bit, so we're going to just stop sprinting for a second. Also, if you hold shift, that sprints, it might be a little bit different. They do have controller support. I just haven't messed with the controller just yet. So we're going to just keep following the coast. I also wanted to mention with the meat that we collected earlier, you can eat it raw. You don't get as good of benefits from it by eating it raw. The raw fish, it seems to be pretty decent, but when you eat uncooked meat, it doesn't give you as much as if it's cooked or if it's cured. And or dried rather. So you can make a drying rack and hang the meat on there, and so that way it'll stay in your inventory and it won't rot. Okay, so this is where I wanted to go next. Now that we're over here, there's going to be a couple more items. We got a watch over here. So we got a couple of wrist watches. Those will come in handy when like creating time bombs with that circuit board that we found earlier. And then we're going to make our way up to this this little boat here, or a kayak rather. You have an MRE, you have a camouflage suit, and the binoculars. Binoculars were the most recent addition to the game, or they came in the first patch. So this is where you find the binoculars. So pretty cool. And we're gonna go up this way. There's a little bit more stuff over here. So we have another tarp, and so tarps and sticks are used for the saves. And check these containers real quick. We got some duct tape, we got some batteries. All right, so the next thing I want to do is pull out your GPS. So as you can see, that blue K is Kelvin. Kelvin has a GPS locator on them. And so the next thing I want to do is go up this way here. Okay, I hear a radio. Here we go. So we have another loot location right here, and a truly unfortunate soul. So we're going to gather up some more goodies. All sorts of good stuff. And so there's like 20, 30 different songs on this if you want to rotate through the different things. And the cool thing is about tents in these save points, or in these random points throughout the map, you can save here. So you can also save and sleep here. If you want, you can also smack these like I said earlier, laptops and radios you can get those circuit boards from. This might be water we can drink. It is. Okay, so this is good. We'll get our thirst back up. And then a different type of turtle. I don't know that you can actually collect the turtle shells from these ones. They might be too small. Okay, there was a vodka bottle. So the vodka bottles are good for making Molotov cocktails. So if you combine this with your cloth, you'll just hold this in your hand, you'll clip it, and you'll be able to light that up and throw it at enemies. All right, let's check this too. You'll see these question marks over things you haven't eaten yet. And so if you eat it and it's good, now you have that yellow like Pac-Man symbol. So you could eat it on the spot if you hold E, or if you tap E, it'll hold it in your inventory. You can use that to combine later and make different different like energy mixes and health mixes with stuff that you find throughout the map. Where I'm going to take you next is, I think, the top of that cliff over there. So Kelvin is slowly but surely keeping up. When you are playing, I try to protect Kelvin at all costs, because they are pretty helpful when it comes to building your base and gathering sticks and rocks for you. And so it does give you a helping hand, but they don't fight against enemies. So here's another one. I'm not sure if this is good to eat. So you see that animation? Now that it was bad, it gives us that red symbol, so we know we don't have to eat that again. All right, let's keep climbing up this to the top of this ridge here. So this was just to the right of that kayak area. We're gonna get to the highest point we can. Okay, the reason I'm taking you out here is this. There's a hang glider on top of this location. This is also part of their first update to the game. So there's like 3 hang glider locations on the map, and this is one of them. So if you look down that way, that is where we came from. So you're just going to go up, right, and this is where it looks on the map. If you tap the middle part of your mouse, it will zoom in on the map. So this is where we are currently. So next we're going to grab the hang glider, and where we want to go, I'm going to try to wrap around this corner. And you see where that purple to the is far north, that purple exclamation point. I'm going to try to fly over that way, or get as close to it as possible, because there's another important item over there. And so we're going to grab E to pick up this hang glider. And the controls are inverted. So actually, I think I want to launch off of this ridge over here, so at least we have a little bit of a head start. There's some gear here. I think this is where we should let off. All right, let's grab this stuff before we go. We got zipline, battery. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And you just have to jump to launch. And here we go. And you get a pretty amazing view. To your right there, that's where we want to go next. We're going to risk it. We're going to risk it and try to land all the way down over here. All right, here we go. Coming in hot. We're just going to nose dive a little bit. Work our way around. Oh, goodness. Woo! Okay. We did it. All right. Here we go. This is the next spot I wanted to get you to. More gear. All sorts of goodies. MREs. More things to loot. And I would suggest saving here. This is another good save point, because it's going to be a little risky swimming out there. So yeah, this thing unfortunately doesn't stay in your inventory, so you're going to need height if you want to reuse it. I don't know if it resets each time you load into the game, but at least got us this far. Alright, so you would save here. Let's get the rest of these items. And so you're going to swim out here. So yeah, this is where I want to leave you off with our little turtle friend. And so I hope this helps you at least get started. You should have a decent amount of gear and be ready to go. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments below. And I appreciate you following along. So I hope you have a good rest of your day and good luck in your journey. Take care.